Tempers were hot for the second race in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series at Golden Isles Speedway. Ricky Thornton Jr. came home the winner, but it was not after he had a couple of run-ins with some other drivers during the race, including Mike Marlar, Jonathan Davenport, and Chris Madden. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at John Trent Racing. So, the race was moved up because they had weather coming into the area. Unfortunately, what happened is we didn't really get good track prep, and the track rubbered up very quickly, and it was pretty much a one-lane track for much of the race. However, we did see some very aggressive moves about halfway through the race. Mike Marlar did the first one, which got Ricky Thornton Jr. a little upset with about, I think, 24 laps to go. You can see Marlar there in the 157 in the center of your screen. Ricky Thornton Jr. is in that blue 20RT on the left of your screen. And then Jonathan Davenport in the white and blue number 49 on the right of your screen. So let's take a look at what happens here that got Ricky Thornton Jr. so upset. Again, this is a very aggressive move by Mike Marlar, but I thought it was entertaining because they had pretty much just been following each other around the track for half of the race, and we finally had Marlar making some moves. So gets a huge run, comes down. He obviously tries to cut Ricky off because he realizes that it's a one-lane track. Ricky drives him up the track, not happy with it, and then JD takes advantage of it and goes by both of them on the bottom. So that is what happened there. Obviously, Marlar did indeed try and cut Ricky Thornton Jr. off there. I guess a little bit of like a reverse slide job. I don't know what you call that. A chop, maybe, is what you call that. So Ricky Thornton Jr. wasn't happy about that. But he would also kind of give some to Jonathan Davenport later on in the race. This is with about 13 laps to go. JD had the lead. They stayed green. They stayed green for until lap 11 or 11 laps to go. So here is how Ricky Thornton Jr. treats Jonathan Davenport, who had taken the lead. Let's take a look here. And there's Chris Madden too. Want to focus in on him because he basically pulls at Jonathan Davenport. Ricky Thornton Jr. does what Marlar did, and he gets up. He does a little crossover. Really good move. JD comes down on him. Ricky Thornton then kind of pushes him up the track. Madden slips around Jonathan Davenport, and then he slips right around Ricky Thornton Jr. as well. And they drag race down the backstretch there, and he would get around him coming out of 3 and 4, as you can see right here. And then Davenport looks like he got around Ricky Thornton Jr. as well. And then they would throw the caution. So I don't really know what happened here. I feel like Chris Madden got robbed because I think, what is it? They need 3 cars to get past the loop. And clearly there were 3 cars past the loop. And Chris Madden was clearly in the lead. Jonathan Davenport was in second, and Ricky Thornton Jr. was in third. However, once the caution was thrown out, they put Ricky Thornton Jr. to the lead, and Madden in second, and Davenport in third. So that is indeed what happened there. And then this is what Ricky Thornton Jr. had to say after the race, expressing his displeasure with Mike Marlar. Let's take a listen.
Any chance you were going to get back to the front?
Definitely not. I'm not quite sure why the 49 and 157 got to keep racing there. I ran into HUD at Deer Creek, get disqualified on the spot, but yet I guess we get some favoritism there and they get to do whatever they want.
Talk to me about that. What happened after the race, and you're obviously displeasured.
Oh, I mean, 100%. I don't know, Mikey drives across my right front in 3 and he's mad at me, so JD, I tried to cross him and I probably shouldn't have stuffed it in there, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do racing in the rubber.
Ricky, last year.
So that is what Ricky Thornton Jr. had to say following the race. Obviously not happy with Mike Marlar nor Jonathan Davenport. I think he's right to be upset at Marlar. I think Marlar did indeed come down and chop him off. I'm not sure he has anything really upset to with Davenport. I feel like that was just kind of tough racing and the two going at each other there. I thought he did a really good move crossing over Jonathan Davenport and getting onto the inside of him, especially given the fact that that's where the lane was. It was all down at the bottom. So I thought that was a great move. and the two kind of being banged each other a little bit, and obviously it all worked out for Ricky Thornton Jr. He won he won the race, but clearly he's not happy about how it happened. This is what Madden had to say. I feel bad for him. I do feel like he got robbed with that caution. I feel like he was the leader, and I don't think that caution came out until after there, like at least 3 or 4 cars had crossed that scoring loop. But this is what Chris Madden had to say.
Timmy up there slowing down, but he was still rolling and still going. So, you know, I felt like we shouldn't have had the caution thrown yet. But it is what it is, you know, and he had 1 lane by then. So at that time we were just getting what we could get. But, you know, they had slipped up there, and I had the chance to go to the lead, and we did. And but, you know, it is what it is. We just want to thank Lucas Oil for getting this race in tonight. You know, weather's on us, and they rushed us through here. Thanks, Grady, and everybody at Golden Isles.
So that is what Chris Madden had to say. Obviously, being very sportsmanlike there. I definitely feel like he was robbed, though. And he obviously is saying that, too. He thought McCready was still kind of rolling, and he had taken the lead by the time they had thrown the caution. And I definitely I concur with him. I think that is very obvious. You kind of saw that with the replay there earlier. And then this is what Davenport had to say here. Let's take a listen.
Easy to see what happened. The 20 RT and the other car that was running second, I think it was Marlar at that time. Hell, I don't know. It's just anyway, they got together, and then I passed them both. I thought pretty clean, and then we come down the back straightaway, and the 20 RT jacked me up, about spun me out, getting in 3. And then I ran the rest of the race there and just kind of protecting the bottom like we do in the rubber. And then obviously he got a big run on me, but took the left side off and knocked us up the track. And then Madden got by us at that time, and then we raced another lap, and I thought I got back by Madden, and Madden had got by Ricky, and then I got by Ricky also where the caution come out. So it's kind of discrepancy of when they call the caution to where we're at on the racetrack. I don't think it always lines up. It's bit me more than one time, but anyway, we know how the 20 RT is going to race. You know, that's fine. If he's, I don't know. I'm just going to try to be as professional as I can. I got to think Nutrient Ag Solutions, corporate.
So that is what Davenport had to say there. Obviously, he wanted to say more, but realized that maybe he shouldn't be saying it on TV, and went to thank his sponsors. Obviously, not happy with Ricky Thornton Jr. I think that was just a racing deal, though. I think both of them were kind of a racing deal. Obviously, the track was really rubbered up. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, I think Marlar obviously made the move first. It was an extremely aggressive move. It didn't pay off. It allowed Davenport to drive past both him and Ricky Thornton Jr. after Thornton drove them both up the track. And then Ricky tried to do a crossover move against Davenport, and then also tried to drive him up the track after he got underneath him to claim that priority spot there, that groove. And it didn't work either, because then Chris Madden did exactly what Davenport did earlier. And then, unfortunately, though, I think the officials really were the ones who determined who won this race, because they threw that caution after Madden and Davenport had passed Ricky Thornton Jr. But that's how I saw it. I really feel like Madden is the one who should be the most upset, but he seemed to be the one that was the most cool, calm, and collected, even though I feel like he was the one who really got robbed for the win. But those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you thought about Ricky Thornton Jr.'s comments. What did you think about Jonathan Davenport? What did you think about Chris Madden? How do you think that they were racing? I thought it was great racing. It was great entertainment. You want to see these guys racing like this. And I thought it was aggressive racing, sure. But, I mean, they weren't wrecking each other. They were still racing really hard. I think it's good to see those tempers flare, those rivalries going. I like to see this, and I think it'll do really well as we move further along in the season, just to see how these guys are really going to get after each other, and I'm excited to watch. But let me know what you guys make of this in the comments below.